welcome to another episode of Why We Sing. I am Candice Dixon, the director of the ministry here at United Christian Faith Ministries, and I have with me today none other than Radiant Rose Britten, the director of the Creatively Speaking Dance Ministry here at United Christian Faith Ministries, and an educator. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so honored to be here, y'all.
So I am excited to have you just because you have a way of just really conveying emotion and just different things creatively when it comes to not only the dance ministry, but poetry and just everything, just in a way that captures attention and is very unique. And I'd love to know, where did this all start?
Thank you, Candice. It really started, I can really say, about second grade is when I believe it all really started. I had a project I had to do. It was African American project, Black History Month, and my person I was given was Maya Angelou, and we had to write a quick, maybe like a one paragraph synopsis of who she was, and then present it to the class. My mom helped me write it, and I remember the day came when it was time for me to present it. By that day, I had already memorized all the lines. So I went into my classroom and they called me up to present, and I like kind of like blacked out. And so I blacked out in the moment where it was like I became Maya Angelou. So I was like talking like I need to read the paper. And I was just reciting, my full paragraph. And after I was done, I was like, oh, wait, that was too extra. I did too much. I'm gonna get in trouble. And so my teacher, I remember her saying, Rose, I need you to stay after class. Like, don't go to recess, stay in here. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me do it again. I don't want to F. I can do it over. I can do it the right way. I can read the lines. And she's like, no, you're not in trouble. Just stay. And so she asked me to get tested for talented theater. And I did that. And so from second grade on, through 12th grade, I was in talented theater, so I was doing stage plays. In the church, always doing plays, welcomes for, convocation, all that kind of stuff. And so um, this extraness has always been in me. I've always been in the light, on the stages, behind the scenes, working on something when it came to creativity. And so Radiant Rose, though, that name, it just came about like, I want to say about 4 years ago, she was birthed. And it was birthed because people would always say, you're just radiant. Like we was playing a game one day and you had to find an adjective that started with the same letter as your name. And I forgot, I think I put resilient. And everybody was like, no, 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 you need radiant. You're radiant. And so the name just kind of stuck. And and I didn't know how to describe what it is I do or all my gifts because I feel like I have so many, right? So it's like, do I call myself a singer? Do I call myself an actress? Do I call myself a dance director? I didn't fit in a box, right? And so I believe the name I would use to describe me is a storyteller. And so it's kind of like how I became Radiant Rose, the creative storyteller, because you never know when I come to the mic, in what way I'm going to come. I may have a mix of all my gifts at one time. I may just be hosting, I may be doing games, I may be doing singing and games. But ultimately, what I'm going to do is try to spark a light. Whether I awaken your gift, whether I awaken your boldness, whether I give you a message that I'm leaving with you through a game, ultimately, I'm trying to radiate something with you. I'm trying to shine a light. So I want that time on the mic to be meaningful because it was many years I ran from the mic. Never thought I would be a singer. I still don't consider myself a singer. My hashtag on Instagram, just Sing Rose, that literally was birthed because I was told, Candice, I had to sing. Like, it was prophets. I would go into churches and they'll be like, you're a singer. Something about your vocal cords. You need to be singing. I'd be like, no, not me. Like my nephew and them, they sing. My family, my husband, and they sing the Brittens. They sing. I'm not a singer. I don't sing. I have a raspy voice. I have a deep voice. I don't know all the notes. I'm going to get off key. I'm going to be in the wrong tune. Like Tim always telling me, he'll play the note, this key, this key. Like I'm going to do that. That's what I do. And so I had to realize it's about the obedience. So if all these prophets keep coming up to you, telling you you have to sing, why don't you try to sing? So just sing, Rose. So that hashtag was birthed out of just sing, Rose. Was birthed out of me just being obedient. Like, let me just try to sing. So whenever I feel the urge or the nudge to sing a message, right, or sing a song in a different way, I just do it because maybe someone's going to get something from this. And so I don't want to be disobedient and cause them to lose it. So just sing, Rose. Just sing the message. You're hearing it, it won't go away. It's meant for you to sing it. Somebody needs to hear this message. And so I love hummingbirds because I believe hummingbirds always leave a little message. They nudge you, they aggravate you until you get it. Like, you're gonna hear that buzz. And so I look at myself as a hummingbird. Like, I am singing this song so it won't get out of your head. So when I leave you, the message is still there. Like, I just did my part, I planted the seed, and then God's gonna do the rest. So when I sing songs like red, yellow, green means go, and the youth, make fun of and they teasing it, but no, I did what I was supposed to do, because 2 weeks from now you still singing red, yellow, green means go, and then you're at a stop, you're at a red light, and then when you see green, something may spark in you. What I need to be going in, and what area should I be moving? What area do I need to push play and actually go? So these little songs and jingles, I call myself a jingle queen. They're really meant to inspire, and it's really prophetic words that God is giving me, and He gives it to me through a song so that melody can ring on and on and on, so that message can really stay planted.
I mean, because I'm still singing I'm a kingdom kid,
Come
okay?
on,
Like,
come on. I'm a king's kid. Yeah, so that song is saying, I remember I started my own little organization, Miss B's World After School Program. I started with 6 little girls that wanted to hang out with me after school. And the route I was teaching, I teach students with disabilities, right? So I'm certified in students with mild to moderate disabilities. And so I took on a task of doing behavior disorders and emotional disorder kids. And so my regular students who I used to teach in second grade, third grade, they come by my classroom, they open up the door. Miss B, can we hang with you? Can I sit in here? We're not doing it in my classroom right now. We have a sub. And I'm like, the kids that I'm dealing with right now, you can't be in the same room with them, because of their trauma, or, they may pop off. And so it's not a safe place for them. And so I started studying after school on Tuesdays, and they want to stay simply because we're singing, we rapping, we rhyming. I'm gonna make them push play on their gifts, on their talents, and so they love that, and they'll say, like, I never thought I could sing in front of people before, right? Or I never knew I could write songs, and I teach them, like, it's so easy to be creative. It's so easy to learn. And so I started with 6 little girls, and I ended up having about 55 kids staying with me after school. I outgrew my classroom. I outgrew the dance room. So we had to have like 3 different rooms. And so it was all because they wanted to be creative. Like, they love learning in creative ways. And I guess no one else was doing that. People are not doing that enough, being creative or letting people tap into their creativity or forcing them to sit in creativity. We don't have enough of that. Yeah.
but that really speaks to like the power of, poetry, singing, rapping, and like how it can be so engaging, especially for youth, but even as adults, to like get us, kind of out of our comfort zone and get us actually, even if it's not something that we want to do, it as a career, but just it's an outlet.
Yeah.
Why is it so important, do you think?
I feel like it's so important because it's really about who you are. Like, for me, when I was not in the season of creativity, right, I felt like I was just existing, right. I really feel like creativity is like an outlet of your inner expression. Like, it's going to allow you to really tap into your purpose, right? And what I need people to understand, though, is that creativity, like, is not your creativity is not going to look like my creativity. And people be like, "Oh, I can't sing like them." And I had to get over that too. I can't sing like them, or I can't rap like them. I'll be off a key, or I'm gonna be in a different, off tone. It don't matter. Your creativity, your form of expression, your form of artistry is gonna look totally different. Like, the person recording us right now behind the scenes, like, I can't go do what he's doing. Shout out to Josh Simmons. I can't do what Josh is doing. You know what I'm saying? We can't do what Josh is doing. But that's his form of artistry. It comes easy for him. The way he puts it together, the way he makes us look good, sound good, like, it comes easy. That's artistry. So I had to realize, Rose, you don't fit in the box. No, you don't sound like them. So, Candice, it used to be so hard for me to go and speak outside of the church, right? Like, so I do spoken word, I do these singing, these songs, these jingles. But I was like, oh no, when I go, I love spoken word, I love orations. So when I would go to these spoken word places, I'm like, oh man, I don't sound like them, right? Or the message I'm going to deliver is not going to be like theirs. Like they talking vulgar, they talking this. But I'm like, but I want to go speak. And so God was like, and that's why I need you to go do it. That's why I need you on the mic in these places, right? And we're supposed to be going out the four walls anyway. So the reason why you're fearful and you're scared is because that's your purpose. That's why you have a level of fear. Anything we fear is really because you're called to that. And so once I got over that and I had a understanding of, oh, Rose, you're fearful in this area because you're really called to it. Now, be a big dog and go ahead and do it. And so when I remember the first time I did it, I did a poem at this place called the main lobby. And because nowhere really has spoken word. Like we need to do better, Baton Rouge, at clean spots with spoken word, creativity, open mic. Like we need better. We need better. So I need to push play on that. But I went to this place and I was so scared to go on the mic, but I was itching to get on the mic. And the poem was called Change. I changed for me. And so I was like, man, everything else everybody said, I'm not gonna sound like them because I'm gonna be singing and rapping. Like either most people like they're gonna sing or they only doing their spoken word. But I'm coming with both of it, and I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with a little dance move too. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember seeing the faces though of the other artists who had just performed before me, and the faces they were making were like, where she came from, who is she? Right. And so it was confirmed with afterwards that was asking me, like, where you been at? We never seen you before. But that taught me and showed me to just do you, Rose. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't, if you're not doing what everybody else is doing, do it your own way. That's what God has called you to do. And so I believe people need creativity to really thrive fully, like as their outlet to thrive fully in what it is they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Like okay, my mind is going a mile a minute because I have so many questions. I
Okay.
have so many questions from you just from what you've already said. But I want to go back to Radiant Rose, right? And how that name came about. Well, not necessarily how it came about, but how it stuck. I was surprised when you said it, that it was only 4 years ago that you came up with it, because everybody now calls you Radiant, like everybody calls you Radiant Rose. And so for it to just be such an easy name for people to call you after only 4 years, like how did that happen?
I remember telling my family, like when the teachers at the school started calling me Radiant Rose. um, I remember being at the house telling my sisters, telling Pastor, I was like, y'all gonna be calling me Radiant Rose. Now I'm presenting Radiant Rose. And they clown me, y'all. They
No,
was
they didn't.
laughing, they was driving me. Ain't nobody calling you Radiant Rose. And it was the pastor, y'all. It was the pastor for me.
It
You
wasn't Mother
silly girl.
Bailey. It was Pastor Ellis.
It was her too. Now it was
It
her
was
too.
Mother
I ain't
Bailey
gonna let her
too.
slide. I'm not gonna let her slide. All of them. And he was like, "You girl, you crazy. Anybody gonna be calling you no Radiant Rose?" And I remember even at a staff meeting, he said Radiant Rose, and he started laughing. He was like, "Girl, you silly." He made another joke. And at the conference, the growth conference, I was on the side getting my stuff together, and I still have the video, and it said, "Now presenting Radiant Rose. Radiant Rose, are you ready? Radiant Rose, are you ready?" And I laughed back at that video because I'm like, look at you. Not even you calling me by my name that I told you 4 years ago you was going to call me. And so it's just amazing that the power of speaking things into existence. God continually shows me the power of speaking things into existence. And now I'm just bold enough to even sing them into existence. Just sing Rose. I'm bold enough to sing the stuff into existence now. And the reason why I keep doing what I'm doing, why I keep just singing, why I keep just speaking, is because he keep proving me right time after time after time after time. Like, it's like, Rose, you don't have no reason but to keep doing what you're doing. So if God sends somebody to you and say, Rose, you have to be singing, then he sends somebody else to me and say, Rose, you need to be singing. I am crazy enough to know he done showed me enough. Rose, you better be singing. So I don't care if I got 2 followers watching me. I
Yeah.
don't care if I got 1 like. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for out of obedience. And there's a song that I always sing. It's my mission. And I sing it everywhere I go. Every time I try to get the mic, I try to sing it. Whether I'm singing it behind the stage before I get up there, I'm singing my mission. And the mission is love. The acronym love, L in sign language, OVE. You have to listen and obey the vision effectively. And kids, all the way from kindergarten all the way up to grown adults, I teach them that song. My kindergartners for a long time, they only knew L and O. You have to listen and obey the. I want them to stay right there, listen. I need you to learn to listen. So listening can sound so different. You can hear through a song. You can listen through somebody coming to tell you something and confirming something. That's listening. You may read something and then you saying it out loud. That's a form of listening. God is showing you something. It's just so many ways that we have to learn to listen. And so I always say this crazy thing, but I listen with my eyes. I've learned to do that. And so that just means God is sharpening my discernment, my level of discernment, right? So I can walk into a room or into an environment and I can hear without really hearing, like I can just see. And so I had to learn that. And so we have to learn different ways to listen. So my mission for me is I have to learn to listen, how to obey the vision effectively. Because 99.5 won't do. So I sing that everywhere I go, Candice. You have to listen. And I remember this girl, I always want to pass the mic, so I want people to sing it. And this lady, she told me, she's like, Rose, every time you come close to me, I start getting on edge. I be getting scared. And I told her one time, I said, next time I ain't gonna take no for the answer, you're gonna sing for me. And she said, girl, I had been practicing for months, thinking when the next time Rose gonna pass me the mic. I said, but Rose, I'm ready for the next time you pass it to me. And next time I sung somewhere, she was there, I passed it to her and she sung it. So it really what I do allows other people, like my obedience allow other people to be obedient and to walk into their calling. So this is why I do what I do.
I want to hear the full song though. I don't think you finished it. How you go?
How I go? Yeah. You have to listen and obey the vision effectively. And so you ad lib on it. So I make you sing it. You have to listen, listen.
Okay.
So you sing it however you want. You play around. It depends on how Tim grooving it with me. My husband, he normally plays it live. It's crazy. I live in the studio and have not one song out. I fuss at my husband. Shout out to Tim, TBJ Productions. I fuss at him all the time because how I sleep in the studio and I don't have not one jingle out. Y'all can't find my music nowhere. But I'm gonna do better this year.
Yes.
Shout out to me.
You have to. But speaking of Tim, y'all are just a creative force, in my opinion. Like,
ooh, you don't even understand. We don't know how to cut it off either. That's the bad part.
Really?
We have to learn balance on how to cut it off. It gets bad.
But
man,
the thing is, y'all were probably a match made in heaven, like for real.
Like for real.
Because anybody else would probably be like, oh my God, I'm so sick of this. Like, but y'all can do that all day, every day, and not get tired of it.
See, and I didn't know that at first. When I was not walking in my purpose, it used to aggravate me. It aggravated me that we were always in that space of creativity and music because I hadn't fully walked into my space. So here Tim is, he's fully walking into creativity, doing what he loves, right? So he can stay in the studio at them keys, at that drum set all day, right? And so here I go, I'm not into that lane yet, that vein of creativity, my artistry yet. And so I'm like, oh, I want to go to the movies. Oh, I want to go to the mall. Why we can't go walk around at the park, But now, oh no, I can stay painting, I can jump from painting to dancing to working on this poem or working on this skit. Like now, as his music is flowing, it's inspiring me. Now I'm grabbing flags and I'm dancing. I'm seeing a whole production, And so I feed off his creativity, or he feeds off my creativity. He may see me dancing and it's inspiring something for him, or with the choir, with the praise team, or he hears a song and now he's singing a different way this time. So now we see the amazing parts of it.
It's amazing to me just in looking at y'all and seeing y'all work together, especially when you're doing something and, he's playing I can tell that y'all, feed off each other. But it also shows the power of like just movement and how you can hear something in just movement, and then from the music how you can sense like a movement just from listening to music. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like you're teaching that, when it comes to the creative speaking dance ministry. And we also talked about how it's more than just dance,
Right.
right?
Right.
So you're teaching creativity, and the arts, and I guess just you being creative in all ways, and I love that.
I remember this moment. It was a Sunday morning, so we do something in our dance ministry called drive-bys. I know it sounds unorthodox. It sounds like but what we're doing is dropping off or driving by our praise. And so a drive-by is when you see dancers come from one side by the musicians, hit that corner, all the way over to what I call the boomerang, which is the huge camera, right? And so we drop off our praise, and so any dancer that becomes a dancer with us, they have to go and do a drive-by, so like initiation, like let me see your boldness, you know what I'm saying, like, and we'll go with you. So I'll send 2 or 3 ladies out with you to drive by with you. But I remember this one Sunday I had to fuss, and I was fussing because here are these ladies who've been dancing for years, right, who love dance, who love to worship, who asked to be on the dance ministry, a part of the dance ministry, but we had a new girl, and the new girl has a different style of dance than they do, right? And so we're all driving by. They're excited to drive by. Here goes the new girl, and she comes and she's flipping and she's kicking and she's jumping and she's leaping. And nobody else wanted to come out there and dance after she danced. So I'm saying, all right, next, next. They all back and back and back and back. In that moment, I had to stop and I had to fuss because I had to let them realize, don't you dare back down. Don't you dare not come and worship because you don't worship like somebody else worship. Don't be that silly. Don't be that foolish. And so I had to learn that message first. God had to come and whip me first when it came to that. Like Rose, don't you dare back down. I've called you and created you to do this. So now when I go to the stage, I'm so bold. Like my stomach don't flip no more. I don't have to go use the bathroom. I don't have to like none of that. I don't have to go throw up or feel like I'm nauseous. And now I have an understanding, and all that I get an understanding. Like I truly have an understanding. Like nope, you're up here because you're called to be up here. You're up here because you have something I've placed in you that I need you to deliver, to be the messenger on. And so having that knowing is like, I don't have time to be scared and do it halfway. Like I've already been whipped too many times because I have delivered the message. And I don't like the way they feel. I hate getting whipped by God. Oh, it's the worst feeling. And so because I'm tired of their whippings and I know what it feel like, those whippings, I have no choice but in this moment to be bold, to tell you what you need to hear. And then we're gonna deal with the rest of it later. So yeah.
Yeah. And obedience is so important. And I think a lot of times we are not obedient because we see other people that we assume are doing it better, that we perceive are doing it better.
Right.
And as if even if they are doing it better or differently, we can't show up and do what it is that we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right. And that, even if it's just like our creative outlet, to get that out of us, because I think we all need creative outlets, right? We can't let comparison stop us from
Right.
being creative. And so I love that you teach that, and that you had that moment where you basically told them, look, this is not, that
Not
you
doing
can't
this.
lessen your how you show up and your worship because of someone else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's why Creatively Speaking was birthed. When I became the director a few years back, I was like, how can I rebrand this? In a way that really opens it broader to not just dance, because I'm more than just dance, right? I'm not lyrical, but we have lyrical dancers. I used to be lyrical. I can do lyrical. I can do just praise and worship dancers, but I'm a mimer. I'm a creative storyteller, so I'm always going to come out with a prop. I'm a teacher at heart. That's my spiritual gift. So as a teacher, I have to find different ways to engage an audience, right? I'm always cognizant of what's my audience or who's my audience. So that's why I'm coming in different ways. So I may come rapping, I may come with the spoken word, I may come with just praise dance, I may come with scripture and I'm preaching or doing inspirational message, depending on if I'm at a Church of God in Christ church, old school foot stomping. So it's different ways that God allowed me to operate in my gift. And today, what He told me is called. and I'm going to research more into this, is diverse tongues. So diverse tongues is when we back in the day when you research when a person could speak in tongues, but it reached so many different people, right? So it sounded like this person's language and that person's language. God told me the way He's orchestrating me with my speech, right, as an orator, is through diverse tongues. So that when I speak in these different ways, it doesn't matter who the audience is. If you're a street person, if you're a gangbanger, if you're a little boy
You
who
can
think you
reach them.
about it, you know what I'm saying? I can reach you. If you're an old woman who's been stuck in her ways for years and grew up in church all your life, I can minister. I can speak to you in a creative way that's going to reach you. He said, Rose, it's so much more to diverse tongues. So I have to go study that. So he just gave me a little nut. He downloaded me with just a little piece of that before I left the house earlier. I was telling my friend to study that. He was like, you telling her to study that, but I was telling that for you. I
Yes,
said, oh,
indeed.
I hear you, Lord. I hear you. Ouch. And so, but I thank God I didn't miss it, you see, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to listening and seeing. And so I'm happy though, even in that moment when I told her to research diverse tongues, she was over there reading it in her phone. I said, what you doing? Because don't be selfish. Read it out loud. Let me hear too. Give me a little bit of that. And so I'm happy I did that because, and God reminded me, now I need you to go read it for your own self. Like, go study that because that's what I'm calling you to. I keep saying I'm going to be on stages, Candice, all over the world. Miss B's World is coming to a stage near you, Rating Rose on the mic. All right, so Rating Rose on the mic. And so when I come on the mic, I want to be able to reach, I don't want to come there and I didn't do no justice, you know what I'm saying? I need you to hear me. I need something I said, if you took time to come here, I need at least what I said, it reached you. It changed you. It sparked something in you. I said something in a way you never heard before. It made you think. That's what I need. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I think that's so necessary. I think we get so caught up on just doing things the way other people do it that we don't really understand the uniqueness of what it is we have to offer, and that you know, basically what you're saying is you can actually use that uniqueness to speak to people in different ways, and reach people in different ways. And the problem is we have a lot of people just trying to be the same.
Yeah.
So you can't reach
Because it's
people.
so scary. It
Yeah.
is so scary to not be like, or to be so different than what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, you don't know if people are going to accept you.
That's true.
My siblings always called me bold, but it's hard work to be bold. It's hard work to be different because you have to go against the grain. I have to not care if I put this on, what people gonna say, and I always have to check myself. Like I put something on that I want to wear, right, and then I would have to check myself. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this off. It's too much. Pastor one Sunday, he was getting on me. He said, Rose, it's just too much. It's just too much. I said, you know what? That means I need to come harder. That means I ain't going hard enough. He's like, I just don't know what to look at. It's just, I'm looking at your hair right here. I'm looking at this. He said, and he was just checking me up and down. I just don't know what to look at. I said, because it's not for you to look at. It ain't for you. That's why. It's just not for you. But it takes boldness, man. It takes boldness to step out, to go against the grain, to not care, to get talked about, for people to be as bold to come tell you in your face. Because we can always say, but I bet you won't say it in my face. But what about those who do come tell you in your face? Then what you gonna do?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I just learned you have to boost yourself up. So I sing to boost myself up. I sing to boost other kids up, other people up. Like when I see a teacher having a bad day, I literally it's some teachers who just they done fold, they done gave up. I may be going home and I see them, right? I see their hurt. I see their frustration, and I love lo-fi. Like I listen to lo-fi all the time. It sparks my creativity. It sparks my. It's just music. It's just instrumentals, and so I may have lo-fi playing, and I see this teacher who's I can tell he's frustrated, right? Wants to want to quit, and a song may come on for him, and so now I was like, oh Lord, you done gave me the song. That means now I have to go sing it to this man. I got to go, read this poem to this man. And I remember I was teaching art because they didn't have a teacher. And in teaching art, it was middle school art, and I had been trying to find a way to get to these kids. But I couldn't get to them. And so this year, my principal asked me, she's like, Britten, you mind just 3 weeks, being an art teacher? And I absolutely loved it. I said, I think I missed my calling. I think I'm supposed to be an art teacher or a theater teacher. Because what I did, Candice, was I showed them art in a different way. I was like, art is more than just drawing or painting. I want them to show them artistry in them, through singing, rapping, designing your own clothes, right? Beat making, taking just your fist and the pencils and beating on the table. Like I was rapping one day and this little dude, I call him Hands. He a fighter, but I know Hands can beat. He was beating on the table and I was flowing. The boy beat was so intricate, he lost me. I had to stop. I got lost in his beat. I said, man, I wasn't ready. Like I said, you need to get some drumsticks in your hand. Like I need to bring you into our studio. I need somebody to be like training you. Like I need you on a stage. Was dynamite. And so these kids fell in love with art class, but it wasn't your typical art. It was it was very unorthodox. It was one day that I kept bringing in chairs. I don't have a roster of who was supposed to be in this art class. I just know I showed up 2 days, I put 2 blocks out of that day to go teach art, and I'm just up there speaking. We playing a game. We was playing in the classroom, Nick Cannon version off of Wallin' Out. I'm playing in the classroom with some kids, and they kept having to bring stools in and chairs in my class. So I'm still going. The kids flowing with me. We playing. And the assistant principal walks in and she said, Miss Britton, all these kids, they are skipping classes. And I look around, kids are sitting literally all around my classroom. Like I ain't really have no walking room. All the seats were full. We done brought all these chairs in. I got tired of having kids going out trying to find more chairs. So I just thought the kids would sit right there, sit down, get a wall and sit down. And everybody was engaged. There was no behavior problems. I don't know who done got their schedule changed or what they doing with the schedules. I just know y'all got me in this period to teach. I'm teaching, the kids are paying attention, they're engaged. So I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing for this 90-minute block. And so she came in, she said, kids are skipping their classes to come to your classroom. All these kids don't belong in here. They should be in gym. I said, y'all skipping PE to come to Miss B's world?
Wow.
That is crazy. And it was like, but Miss B, we hear y'all be rapping, y'all be having fun in here. And we do. I give them 3 words. I say 3-word challenge. And that simply means I give you these 3 words and you flow with it. Whether you sing, whether you rap, whether you are a poet, use these 3 words and create something with me for me. And then my guys that's more advanced, I give them 5 words. I say word up, big 5. And I give them a word. They like, give me words, Miss B. Give them words and they rap. And we have some of the scary cats. They won't do it in front of my audience, but on their way to the restroom, they'll stop by my class. Hey, Miss B, give me 3. And so I give them 3 and they rap. And I be like, boy, what you scared of? What are you scared of? Like, I need you to get on the mic. I need you. And so I make a stage wherever I go. I'm on duty and they know they walking past me. Come here. I got 3 words. Go higher level. Let's go. Miss B right here, right now. Because you never know when your opportunity going to come and you don't want to miss it. You can't be missing it because of fear. Open up your mouth, especially when you got the gift too. And I done seen that you got the gift. Come on, big dog. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I know
Yeah.
those students love you.
Yeah. We have
Yeah.
fun.
And I
They get me
think
in trouble though, Candice.
do
They be getting me in trouble.
nah,
Skipping
they supposed
class.
to be
Get me
getting
in
in trouble.
trouble,
They getting you
y'all.
in trouble.
I be saying, don't stop getting me in trouble, y'all.
Yes,
Come on.
indeed. But I think we need that more. Like teachers who actually see get or pull out gifts, encourage those gifts to like come out because you just never know what somebody can be. You never know what somebody can create, right? Or you just never know what, kind of creative outlet they need in that moment, just emotionally, right? And I love that, that whole story just gave me a big smile and just warmed my heart so much because our kids need that, especially in this world today. But I know another thing that you do as an educator is teach using music, like actually teach, concepts that they need to, remember and understand using music. How does that work?
So for example, we do dress up because I'm a creative person. So for example, this is one of my hats. It used to have the E on this side. This is the ear sound. And so I'll have a student to wear this hat. So all right, Candace, think about a word that have this IR in it.
Okay. Stir.
Okay, stir. And so I will make them come up with songs with the word stir in it, right? Or I will do rhyming words. So what's a word that rhyme with stir? And so we'll brainstorm and we'll write them down. So what's a word that rhymes with stir? Stir,
Sir,
sir.
her.
So right, we'll do all rhyming words and we'll write them down. Then I say, okay, now take three of these words. Somebody be rocking a hat, and so the person's rocking a hat. Let's say he's not a singer or a rapper, so he'll be my hype man. So he wants to dance and he'll groove, or I give him a little light up toy. We turn the lights off, and so somebody is in the room as a singer, or maybe I'm the singer or I'm the rapper, right? And so now we're rapping about at least three of those words that's on the board. So not only now am I teaching the phoneme sounds and blending and all that, but I'm also teaching how to rap, how to be creative writing, how to rap, self confidence, boldness, how to perform, stage presence. So it's so much I'm teaching the sound of music, beats, how to hold words, and so it's so much I can teach in one time. A little girl named Maya, right? And that's her nickname, so I'm not giving her real name. But the little girl name is Maya. And Maya could not remember how to spell the word my. Every time the word my would come up, so I teach students with disabilities, right? Every time the word my would come up, Maya couldn't remember the word my. So I'm like, Lord, it's two letters. I'm so sitting there fussing. M-Y, my, Maya, my. Come on, Maya, my. You ain't going to recess until you spell the word my, right? And so I gave us a break. So I gave her a break. I'm doing on my computer doing some work, and YouTube is steady playing, videos playing. Maya is singing and playing with the Legos, but she's singing every single song that came up. I said, wait a minute, because I know not. How do you remember all these songs, but you could not remember two syllables? You couldn't remember two letters and blend them. So I said, Maya, how do you know these songs? She said, because I heard them before. I said, oh, Maya, let's try something. So I wrote a song, I made a song, and it simply says, M-Y spells my, M-Y spells my, I am Maya, I am Maya, I am, and I have an exclamation mark, and she holds the note, Maya. And Maya can now spell the word my because she knows that M-Y spells my. So every time she's reading something now, you see Maya, M-Y spells my. And so now the other kids in the classroom who said they don't sing or don't like to sing or they shy away from singing, when they come across the same word my or even the word am, they go back and they reflect on that song. I am Maya, am. Oh that's I, oh that's my. And so songs or music, it just showed me that kids can learn, people learn so much through music. Like I can use music in so many different ways to teach so much, to spark so much. And so that's what I do. Like I teach songs for every single thing. And my students always say, Miss B, you got a song for everything. I sure do. And guess what? You sing them too. You remember them too. You know how to do these math facts. You know that when you do your add and subtraction, you always start with your ones place, or you gonna get it wrong. Pam. Like they singing it. And so they remember it. Then they're gonna teach somebody else it. Or somebody comes to me, oh Miss B, I heard your song. Yes, thank you. Who taught it to you so I can get them something? I can bless them with something. Who was the one? And so when anybody shouts out my name, my hashtag just sing rose, then I have to go be obedient. Then I go and just sing. All right, God, what you're speaking to me now? Let me go just sing because somebody called me out on it. And that way I stay walking in obedience and in purpose. Yeah.
So, how do you even associate why songs are so much easier to remember than just talking, right? Because she had heard MY spells my several times. So
Yeah.
why do you think the song, that you taught her to sing actually made it stick?
I think it deals with the part of your brain, and that needs to be more researched. So I think the part of her brain she must be more in tune with, or more awakened, developed, is the creative side of her brain. Because just like with me, when I write something and I try to just remember it, I don't. I'll flow away from my script because I'm really impromptu anyway. But if I sing it, I can flow easy. Just like with rappers, they be needing a beat. Now give me a beat, man. I need a beat. I can't rap like that, right? But I challenge myself to not have a beat sometimes, just to get more skilled in what I do, in my gift. But I really believe it has something to do with your that creative side of your brain. Um, that's why, like that's how you operate best.
And I
That's
think
why.
most of us will
Yeah,
remember song lyrics far easier than it is we gonna remember a Bible verse or
yeah.
or something that
And
we
I
just
think too,
read.
people have to learn how to make it relevant, how to relate it to something to make it stick. Like when I was always studying, because I always like to say I have a photographic memory, but that comes with me constantly having to learn lines since second grade for plays, you know. And so now when I take tests, I remember where I circle, where I underline. That's why I use different colors and markers and highlights, because I know if I have these different colors, I'm drawing a star by this, underline this 6 times, and I circled this. I'm going to see that when I'm taking a test or when I'm trying to say it online, on a stage, you know, say my lines. I see how I wrote it. If you ever see my journals or my notepads, I write so crazy. Like I may have 6 words written huge or in block letters. Then I got these words on this side of the page going down this way. That's the way that my mind works, though. Like I can't write just up and down. It's crazy, but everybody has their own way, I think. And so I think when we tap into learning the way that you learn and the way that you process, and being okay with the way that you process, that's where the creativity can really begin.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like you're all about the freedom when it comes to expressing yourself in any way, right? And I just love that kids have you to be able to teach them. And I feel like just from this conversation, I'm learning that I need to, I feel like I've already been beat over the head just a little bit about about not being so self-conscious and whatever it is that God is telling me to do, or even if it's just something that I just feel in the moment, is something I should do, a creative outlet in some way, that I should just give it a try and stop being so much in my head.
My
Yeah.
brother passed away about 4 years ago, and so he always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And so Frank used to write in journals all the time. And so middle of the night, I would wake up, I would see him laying in the floor in the den, just writing, writing, writing. And I never read any of his journals, right, out of respect, right? I knew where he hid the composition notebooks and the tablets at. He would ask me sometime, Chris. He was the only one that called me Chris. My name is Rose Crystal. And so he called me Chris for short. And he'd be like, Chris, you got an extra journal or notebook? So I would give them to him. And so he would just be writing. But when he passed away, the first thing I couldn't wait to get to, oh, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get to my boy journals. So it was 4 of them that I took. And my mama wasn't strong enough to read them because I knew mama wasn't going to let me take them. But surprisingly, she let me have them. She was like, take them until I'm strong enough to read them. And in reading my brother's journal, he awakened the speaker side of me back up, right? Because it had died for a season in my life, and so he awake. His death caused it to awaken back up, because after reading it, right, I realized, dang, all these shows he have written right here in all these journals, right? All these shows, flipping through the pages, right? All these jokes, these poems, and he didn't get a chance to get on a stage and speak them. I said, it's not gonna be me. I'm going to do what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to finish it for you, Frank. Like, I'm going to be bold enough to do it. You was too scared, but I'm going to be bold enough. And so for his funeral, that was my first time saying, okay, I'm going to walk back in this. I'm going to walk in this. I'm going to go all out. I ain't going to be scared. I'm going to be bold enough for you and me. And the day I had to go speak, the day of his funeral, all my siblings were supposed to go up there with me. Right before it was time for them to go up. So I had my notebook with my little poem written. All of them, they touched me, Rose. I can't go up there. I ain't going. Touch them and ask them. Now, it's 4 of us. Well, it's 5 girls. So all 4 sisters told me they're too scared. They can't go up there. They too weak. So naturally, I wanted to be like, I ain't going to go either. I can't do it. First lady say, ask June. June will go with you. I'm talking about Mark Jr. He'll go with you. So I said, Junior, you going? He's like, yeah, T. Rose, I'm coming. So I went up there because I wanted to quit, y'all. I wanted to quit before I even started. But I said, no. Then they'll make me a quitter just like Frank, and I'm supposed to be strong. I'm supposed to do it. And I said, this is my moment. And so I did it. I got up there and I did it. I said the poem. I did it. I had a moment. I was like, nope. So I was about to break down. I said, nope. I said I was going to be strong and I was going to do this. So let me get myself together. Let me get me together. And not just get me together even in that moment, but let me get me together in this life. Because we don't know how long we're going to have. And so I can keep saying, oh, I'm going to get strong. I'm going to be bolder next time. What if you don't got a next time? And the biggest thing that God would always tell me, and it brings me to my knees every single time, and it's truly what pushed me to come as far or go as far as I go. He always tells me, he said, Rose, every time you don't do what I've commanded you to do and you don't walk into obedience, that's another day or moment that the enemy can be snatching for somebody's life that you were called to, that you were supposed to speak into. But because you still walking in disobedience and the enemy closing up your mouth, now you can't speak or you don't want to speak, you too guilty to speak or whatever it may be. Now you holding them back for being free. And I'd be like, Lord, don't put their blood on my hands. I don't want that on my hands. So then he says, well, you have to listen and obey the vision effectively. That's love. So he told me, I want to re-show you. I want to redefine what loves look like for you, and then ultimately what you show into this world what love is. I want you to go back and show kids what love is supposed to look like. It don't matter what your family, looks like or what your mom and daddy did or shown you. No, God has allowed you to meet Miss Bees where he allowed you to run across Radiant Rose so I can redefine what love is. Love is listening. Love is obeying. Love is noticing and observing the vision and obeying that and doing so effectively, 100%. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Wow. Yeah. I absolutely love that.
I talk too much, so
Oh
I'm just
no,
going to
you
stop doing
talk,
this.
baby, because you can sit here and talk all day. I
I
told you I
talk
don't
too
have to say a
much.
word, okay? And this is a perfect interview because the less I have to talk, the better. But to your point, I do feel like there are things that I, should be doing and that I let fear hold me back from. And I feel like you just spoke to me in many ways when it comes to that story. But also when it comes to your brother, something that came up as you were talking about comedy is just like poetry, I feel like is very much related to music, when it comes to they're just so related. I mean, poetry, like I think you said earlier, is like the lyrics, of the song. But I thought about that when you started talking about comedy, and I feel like there's a cadence to comedy that's very similar to music and poetry as well.
I think I'm a comedian. I do. I'm my family's clown. But that's something I'm scared to walk in though. Like to call myself a comedian. So I had a little show I started with my sisters. She had like a Thanksgiving, a Friendsgiving, and I had my husband make me an introduction. Now presenting Radiant Rose with radiant laughs. Like that's so. The joke with my family is they say I do too much. I'm always coming up with something new, right? And so they're like, what you gonna have next? Radiant what? Radiant laughs. And so I'm like, you know what?
Hmm.
That's good. And so out of just being funny one night for a girls' night with my sisters, I said, you know what? Let me give them a Radiant Laugh show. And from the time it started, they couldn't stop laughing. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
so the way I think I do comedy is like making fun of what I'm doing is the comedy, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it does. So I have absolutely loved this interview. I think there's a ministry, of course, that is you. That is this creative storyteller, creative enabler, almost, that I think is so necessary. And this has been an excellent interview. Like I have absolutely loved it. But I do want to know what is next for Radiant Rose. Is Radiant Labs next? Like, what can we look forward to?
Y'all, so it's the craziest thing. I am saying that I'm quitting teaching, right? Um, in the classroom aspect. And I want to be mobile. So me and my husband, we're getting our trailer and I want to be mobile. I need people to see me outside of the school building, right? I feel like the ceiling is getting too small for me, and so I want to travel and bring Miss B's World, the Love Music Cafe, Rating Road Speaks, Push Play, all that is different ventures that I do. But I want to bring that to different schools, different workshops, different churches. Different families, different because we do backyard parties, with our live band and all that. Like, I want to bring the entertainment side of me, and let my gifts truly make room for me. So what I keep saying is that my name is being mentioned in rooms my feet haven't even entered into yet. People calling Raylan Rose on the mic, and so I'm looking to leap. I'm taking a jump this year, and I want to do more into the entertainment production side. Like, I want to help other churches with their dance ministries, develop their creativity. I want to do creative workshops, host open mic nights for teens, adults, young adults, singles ministries. Like, let us put on a Love Music Cafe for y'all. Like, let us show y'all what creativity is. Let us bring a different vibe to Baton Rouge, where it's grown and it's smooth, but it's fun and it's an atmosphere where you're networking and you're learning, you're being creative. So that's what's next for me. I'm about to push play on every gift, every opportunity, every resource, every connection that God gonna bring to me. I'm looking for them all. I'm looking for my people. I'm looking for my team. I'm looking for other gifts to connect with me. I'm not closed off to any of it. Like, I'm ready. Whatever He got for me, I'm ready. My answer is yes. This is yes in sign language.
I
Yes.
love it. I'm going to get that same mentality. My answer is yes. Whatever God got for
Cause
me,
like when you called me
yes.
today, I wanted to say no. Look, the fleshly side of me wanted to be like no, but I said I'm ready to rose. I just told Pastor, look, I stay ready, ready rose, stay ready. So I said my answer is yes. Yeah, this is my answer.
And honestly, you're one of the only people I can think of that who would be like on the ready.
Yeah.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So yes, but yeah, I enjoy your gifts immensely, and I am so excited to see you share it more with the world. We have enjoyed it, a lot at United Christian Faith Ministries, and I know you do a lot, within the city. But as you branch out and go nationally and internationally, don't forget
Come
about
on.
us.
Global, baby. Come on, baby. They gonna be sending for me. Josh, you
Yes.
coming? Okay. Cause listen, I'm
Yes,
ready, Candice.
indeed. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Mr. Bumble, he got to say goodbye.
Oh yes, look,
No, it's okay. I
all the
forgot him.
props. Look, Rose is the props queen, like for real.
Yeah,
Like
really,
seriously.
yeah.
But thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Why We Sing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you can be notified when we have future episodes. And give us your feedback. Definitely email us at whywesing@ucfministries.org so we can know what you think and how we can improve, and give us guest recommendations as well. Thanks.